All right, on the very cold morning of January 28th, 1986, the Space Shuttle Challenger took off despite many delays to launching and many recommendations from top engineers to delay the launch further. The Space Shuttle only lasted 100 seconds before it had ultimately exploded. All right, so there's a lot of factors that went into this launch and a lot of moving parts, but we're going to analyze it, answering a couple questions. The first one being, what could NASA have done differently? So, in my opinion, NASA should have cared more about its astronauts, its employees, and engineers, um, all of their top level engineers over political pressures from the United States and abroad. I know there was a lot going into the mission, including Russia launching similar missions. There should have been way more mandatory checks in place that if left unfulfilled, management would not only be fired but also face prison sentences. Even if the mission was successful, if these checks were not done, management should have been fired, in my opinion. The next question, what should Roger Boyce Jolly have done differently, if anything? I understand that Roger was under tremendous political pressure, and he had a family to support. He was old. I cannot imagine having a job where you have to please the Vice President of the United States and ultimately the President. All of that said, he should have listened to the engineers that worked on the shuttle itself rather than listen to political pressures or pressure from management. You ultimately keep your job by performing successful missions rather than having missions that end in disaster like the Challenger did. And while pleasing the Vice President of the United States is important, so is keeping your astronauts alive and your employees, and that's where his loyalty should have been. So the third question, what do you see as your future engineering professional responsibilities in relation to both being loyal to management and protecting the public welfare? So I don't plan on going into engineering. However, I believe that this question can apply to any career that you choose to pursue. First and foremost, in whatever career anyone takes, you have a responsibility to ensure the safety of others. I was a restaurant manager for 4.5 years, and that was my first responsibility, was to ensure that food safety measures were in place so that we never did any harm to the customers. Our customers were our number one priority in food safety, and I believe your loyalty should be to those that the implications of your career affect, rather than to management and then management. So loyalty to your customers and those that are affected by your work, and then to management. And those are my opinions on the results of the Challenger mission.